Hi and welcome to Convenience Talk. It's the convenience platform for networking independent retailers within the convenience network. It's www.c-talk.co.uk, and OMG, are we excited to be talking to Abdul Majid, MBE today. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
It's great to be talking to you, but many people might not know a lot about your store. So could you be kind enough just to give us a little bit of background about the store that you have in Glasgow, please?
Yeah, I'm a nicer retailer. I'm based in Belsill. Belsill is about 13 miles south of Glasgow. So we're in the county of Lanarkshire. So it's a great hub in terms of it's got great access routes, and we're just 5 minutes from the M74, 5 minutes from the M8, and 5 minutes from the M73. So a lot of big businesses are based in and around the industrial estates around Belsill. So the store, we're just about 2,500 square feet. Been with NISA now approximately 15 years. So yeah, but pleased and happy, and business is good.
Yeah, and rightly so, and you should be. And so thank you for sending through some of these fantastic photos through some of the work that you've been doing in stores. Now, of course, you were on the honours list for a lot of the work that you've done, not only in the UK, but internationally. So could you tell us a little bit more, especially about this one? What have you been up to back at home and abroad?
The charities and the organisations that I'm involved with, and does take me abroad. Now, if I take Pakistan, which is my home country, the work that's involved there is personal. So it's just something for me, my family, and to make sure that that connection going forward is always there. I think one of my father's concerns was that, because I've spent most of my life here, in fact, 53 years out of, the 58 in the UK. So he said that it was concerned that we'd lose that connection. So he made sure that we went back regularly, and also he encouraged me to do something for the community back home. He did a lot himself, but he wanted that legacy continued. So which is what I've done. So that's personal to me and my family. And then the UK ones, as in the Scottish ones, St Andrew's Hospice is where my dad spent the last week of his life. So again, it's personal to me. As I've been involved with them for a long time now. We donated long before my father spent any time in there, but we've ramped up what we do and a connection and everything since that time. And our family will always be grateful for the what St Andrew's Hospice did and have done for our community. And then recently, Maggie's Lanarkshire, I was co-opted onto the board, the fundraising board of that through Sandy Wilkie. I think is a well-renowned figure in the UK industry, the milkman, as it were, from Wiseman Dairies. So that I've been with them for just over a year now. And then locally, as in on my doorstep, we've got the two primary schools, Noble and St Gerard's, and then the two churches I work with, St Gerard's and Sacred Heart. So that is the different organisations and people that I work with, and as you can see, the different levels, as in community, local, a bit more broader in county, and then there's the national, and then obviously the international. So each one of them has some form, especially St Andrew's Hospice, they do treks about fundraising. I know Paul has been in one, the cycling one, I think he was on. So
yeah, that's right,
it allows you to do these treks. So
so sorry, I'll just put myself on mute in a second, just 1 second. So thank you for the kind words you said about CTALK just before we kicked off. It would be great for other people, of course we were off camera then, to kind of talk about your experience of actually, you know, not just learning about everything that happens within your store, but getting out there and experiencing, and why CTALK is quite useful because you're learning from other stores, but how, you know, perhaps when we're not as restricted, that getting out there is really important.
Yeah. So, yeah, one of the things I think, Paul, you're based, is it Coventry?
Yeah, so we're based in Coventry, yeah, right in the centre.
Yeah. So, you know, Paul, I've known you how many years now? You know, a long time.
Many years, yeah.
One of the things I learned is that you have to get out of the store. You have to go and visit the best of the best in your industry. Yep. So yep. If you want to stay at the forefront of retail, at the forefront of business, you have to look elsewhere. It's easy yep. to look at your own four walls and be paranoid about the issues that you have, the day-to-day issues that you have, and be you know, they can bore you down and you just get stuck. But yep. you have to force yourself to get out of the business and look at what other people are doing, you know, the industry leaders. And the best places to start are, you know, the award winners. See what they're doing right. See what can you learn. So I think I've been to just about every corner of the UK and Ireland, and Southern Ireland included, visiting stores, either part of a group or on my own. Because I've learned so much, and you know, I'm proud of the store that I have. It's successful. It gives me a good living, but I think that's down to the fact that I'm willing to learn and willing to listen to whoever has got a good idea and trying to be at the forefront. Okay, there's going to be mistakes along the way, but you can never learn without making mistakes. So I would, you know, I would encourage retailers to get out and visit other stores just to learn and to chat. And I get it all the time. People come and see me and want to chat, but I would say please phone in advance so I've got some time. Sometimes they just turn up on your doorstep, and there's nothing nicer to have a friendly chat over a cup of tea and tell people what you're doing and how it's worked for you, and maybe help them with their business.
Yeah, that's true. And with you guys, you know, up in Scotland and Glasgow, you're very tight. You've got a really good tight knit community, haven't you? With the work that you all do with the Scottish Grocers Federation as well. I mean, to see what was announced this week, it's really good. You know, and that's helped every retailer. It's I think you guys have got a very good result for all of us there.
I think the fact that Scotland, like you said, we've built up around the Scottish Grocers Federation, and because it's every fascia group's in there, and let me go back to 2014, and I think it's an interesting story, and it's an interesting story about opportunities and how things can fall your way with a lot of luck, and that was. I'd recently been at that point in 2014 been elected as president of the Scottish Grocers Federation, and one of the first things that happened was John Drummond announced that he wanted to retire. That I was a chief executive at the time, so here's me coming in as president and having the chief executive saying that he's looking to retire, and the turmoil of picking a new chief executive and everything. And I got an invite to attend the Coca-Cola factory in East Kilbride, who were celebrating their 50th anniversary of production of Coca-Cola, its first production plant outside USA, and that was its 50th year of production. And they were having a big party. And the then First Minister of Scotland, Alex Salmond, was the chief guest at that. And for years, being on the board of the Scottish Grocers Federation, we've been trying to arrange meetings with the government. Look, can you talk to us? We've got issues, but nothing. We would always get to the secretaries, and they would say, "Oh, Mr. Salmond is very busy, and we're sorry we can't fit you in." The usual, palm you off with excuses. So I said, right, okay, this is a party, and he's the chief guest, and I didn't know how many people were attending. Luckily, there was only 20 from different industries, and the local community leaders and so on. So it was, and we were having a tea just before the tour of the plant. And Alex Salmon was doing a little chit chat around the different guests. And I said, right, I'm going to nab him. I'm going to nab him. Here's my opportunity. So I said to him, you know the usual, we get taught that 1 minute lift, you've got to sell yourself in a minute. I said, right, okay. So I got a hold of him and I told him the smear of the Scottish Grocer Federation and what we're trying to achieve, and we've been trying to, for years, trying to get meetings with the Scottish government where we haven't. So he's listening away, and the next thing he calls over his assistant. He said, "Can you take Mr. Majid's details and take his email and put something in the diary for me, please?" So and I thought, here I go again. He's just winding me up, and I'll get an email saying he's busy and everything. But by the time after the event, I got home, and there in my inbox was this email from the First Minister's office saying, "Yeah, can you tell us, put a few dates that you're available to come and meet?" And I said, "We want a meeting as soon as we've got to take the bull by the horns." So myself, Pete, who I'd brought in as to replace John Drummond as the chief executive, John Lee, public affairs advisor, the three of us went and saw Alex Salmond, and we were given supposed to be given half an hour just to talk about anything that we wanted, any issues we wanted to raise. And the meeting went so well, it nearly dragged on for about an hour or so. And it was his secretary come in, look, the next appointment's waiting. Yeah, you need to close this off. So we said that we would like another, he said, put them in the diary for a follow-up meeting. And on the way out, I said, Mr. Salmond, we're having a conference later on this year. Would you be kind enough to attend and give us a presentation, a speech at that? Oh, he said, I would love to. He said, just check it with my secretary, see if my diary's clear, and I'm more than happy to come.
Wow.
So from 2014 onwards, we've had the First Minister of Scotland attending our conference and giving a keynote closing speech every year. So, and that 1 minute talk at a Coca-Cola event opened the door to where we are, where yesterday we had the law come in, the shop workers protection come into law, and that was started by us raising it and with the politicians, and that took 5.5 years of dedication. And now I'm immensely proud of where we are as a trade association, and how something as little as a 1 minute conversation can open a door to say, right, okay, we're right in the heart of a lobbying in the Scottish government now as a respected partner of the Scottish government. So it's been a long journey, but very fruitful, and it's been fantastic.
Much respect to you. I mean, you've done us all proud. It's great that the retailers are looking after retailers. It's always great to hear. And you've done some great work in your store just recently as well, haven't you? You've done some really good remodeling, and I see your desserts bit you've got at the front. That was, I take it that's from all the insight you've gained and on all your travels. Yes,
that was my son wanted to come into the business. He qualified as an accountant, and he wasn't particularly enjoying it. And I said, look, if you want to come in the business, you're not going to come and drink the tea, empty my till, and then just go. If you're going to come in, you need to participate. You need to add something to it. And one of the things was the food to go was, I tinkered with it and wasn't sure how it would go. And it was doing well, but it needed that boost. And I said, well, prove to me that you're worthy of coming into the business and your heart's in it and you want to do it. So this is where we introduced the Baba's Kitchen brand, Baba being my father and his grandfather. And we did a trip to Ireland, just him and myself, Omar. We went to Ireland, a couple of days in Ireland visiting. And I'd been to Ireland a couple of times before and was blown away by the food to go culture over there. And I said, look, this is what I'm trying to achieve. This is what I would like to achieve. I said, the two closest stores doing similar to what Ireland are doing at the David Sand stores, you know, Pinky, the
Yeah.
one at Glenrothes,
Yep.
and that was Diane.
Dan Brown.
Diane and Dan Brown and Pinky Farm. I said, these guys are at the front end of the food. This is where we're trying to go. So if you want to take me there on that journey, then prove it to it. So that's what we've done. And it's worked so well that we're now at the stage of speaking to architect to actually build a fully functioning kitchen to support, because the meals are selling so well. So it's been a huge success. So yeah, we're ready to take it,
So
ramp
you
it
just
up to the next stage now.
wow, really good. I know you're just doing the ready meals, or you're doing the desserts as well there as well now.
The problem we have was, again, the size of the store. We're bursting at the seams.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought that the desserts would, you know, Scotland and Scottish weather, you know, we're lucky if we get a handful of days of good weather. But I know there are good dessert parlours, and to do it justice, you need to do it right. Well, that's one of the learnings, is that if you're going to do anything, you've got to put your heart and soul into it. You're not tinker with it and just play at it. You know, if you're going to introduce food, you've got to be passionate about the food and the quality of the food. If you're doing it, you know, just heating it up, putting it in a microwave and trying to sell it, it's not going to work. So, you know, so I said, well, if this next stage, if this food works for us, which is it has, we will introduce it in this next coming phase and put a proper dessert parlour in to complement the food. So the meals are going really well for us. We're doing from scratch in less than a year. We're doing over 400 meals a week, you know, and it's been tough going, but I'm really proud of the effort of the team that Omar's put together.
And are these all pre-packed, or you?
Yes, pre-packs. We sell fresh over the hot counter for lunch times, but we also have them pre-packed in meal deals to take home and heat at home. So we do a combination of both. So
your big advice there was that if you're going to do it properly. Don't do it half-heartedly.
Sorry, you're breaking up. You broke up there. I didn't hear that.
So your key advice there would be, if you're going to do food to go, do it properly. Don't do it half-heartedly.
100%. This, you know, I've had so many retailers come and look and say, right, how can I replicate? The other advice I would give is no two stores are the same, so you can't copy.
Correct.
So as much as I admired Dan's store and I admired Diane's store at Glenrothes, you know, they're different location, different clientele, different demographics. So what you do is you say, right, okay, I know my customers, and you've got to be flexible enough to change it so that see what works and what doesn't work. So you're not having to spend a lot of money every time if something doesn't work and then blame that part of it. So you've got to take the best of the best and say, right, okay, what is going to work for me, and start playing around till you find something that fits your store, your location, and your population. There's no point copying exactly what they're doing, because that works for them and their location and their store size and their, you know, demographics, but it might not work for you. So it's crucial you do it for yourself.
Good stuff.
So what's some of the if you got like one big challenge that you're facing right now, and then to kind of caveat that, have you got something that you're working on, you know, the next big opportunity for you?
So the next opportunity, as I've said to Paul, was that we're expanding. The food to go operation is going so well. So the next stage is like to follow that Irish model and say, right, okay, and do the bigger range of meals. And at the moment, we're catering for breakfast and lunch and part of dinner, but we want to expand the dinner menu. So everything joins together. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. So the pieces will fit, but you've got to do it in stages. The whole picture doesn't come into play until you do all the different pieces. So for the next phase for us is a fully functioning kitchen, because we've got a temporary small kitchen, and we're at capacity just now, the number of meals that we're doing. So to ramp it up to well over 1,000 meals a week, which is our aim, We need a proper, fully functioning kitchen to be able to develop that, and then do the ice cream parlour and the desserts. And the food industry, the convenience industry, is going towards fresh foods, and people are, getting away from the tins and the packets, and they are a part of our business, but they're not the one that's driving the business. So everybody has to do something in terms of food offering, whatever, depending on the size of the stores where they can get into it. But there are different options, different availabilities, and I would suggest that see who's doing what, but pick this store that's roughly the same size as you, and then see who's doing food really, really well in that size of store, and then maybe pick something that you're passionate about and you think you could, your passion would be able to sell that to your customers, because you have to be passionate about it yourself. There's no point, you're just putting it out there and there's no heart and soul behind it. We love the food, we eat it at home, the food that we make, so, and if it doesn't pass us, if we're not prepared to eat it, we're not prepared to sell it. It has to be that kind of standard that you say, right, okay, I'm not going to put some wishy-washy stuff out there and hope to make some money and sell something off. But with food, one of the best bits of advice I got was that, unlike tins and packets and bottles, with actually fresh cooked food, you can actually kill somebody if you do it wrong. So that, in terms of health and safety, in terms of labeling, in terms of, the allergens, is you've got to put everything into it. If you can't go with this one and say, right, I'm going to take shortcuts, and if that's the case, just don't enter it. But you have to take it seriously, because, you have the potential to actually kill somebody if you do it wrong.
Yeah, that's great advice, and it's even more pleasing. You've got we've known each other for a long time. You got a great store. It's good to see the next generation now coming in, and it just goes to show the great work that you guys have done at Scottish Grocers. Both yourself and Pete have been really recognised well for the hard work you've done for the many retailers out there. So much respect to everyone there.
Yes, it's been, like I say, I was saying to Kate earlier, just off air, that there'll be retailers all over the UK have seen my face, because, as you know, I'm everywhere. I go everywhere. I've attended everything and anything, and if there's something going on somewhere, I participate, and that's the only way you learn. And I know so many great retailers all over the UK, and it's fantastic that you can call on these people for advice, a chat over coffee, and like I say, how many times have we met off at different events and stuff? And I could, so many retailers out there. But, one of the things I'm passionate about saying to our retailers, attend Scottish grocer events. You've got to the only place you'll learn about the industry and a better understanding of, what is controlling the environment that we trade in. So the Scottish Grocers Federation, we're at the stage now that we're respected by the Scottish Government, and the number of things that we are now involved in, and the number of ministers that call us asking us for our input before they go public with anything. John Lee's constant, that's constantly on the phone, speaking to different projects. There's another one, exciting one in the pipeline. We had the Food to Go grant, where retailers were getting £10,000 to help them launch food in their businesses, and that was a huge success. We're chasing the government, but sadly the pandemic has impacted. We're chasing the government if we can, do it again for the next batch for this next financial year. But there's something that I'm sure Pete will talk about in your chat with him. Something exciting that's happening in the background just now. That I don't want to steal his thunder, but there's exciting news to come.
It'd be great to showcase on CTALK all the great work that SGF do, and it'd be great to get your permission to do that. So anything you want to share with us, and we're happy to share it on our platform as well.
Yeah, what I would say to retailers is, please be involved with your trade associations, because the power for the trade association comes from its membership. So if you get behind any project and anything that awareness that they're raising with politicians, if the industry gets behind it, I think this Daniel Johnson, the Protection of Shop Workers Bill, is a great example where the whole industry got behind it, and then before we knew it, the big multiples and all the unions got behind it. It's the snowball effect, so made it near impossible for the politicians to turn a blind eye to it. So I think, and the fact that it passed unanimous just goes to show you how strong the case we put together. So it's a learning for the trade associations down south that, you know, it can be done, but you have to have that support of the retailers behind you to back up. There's no point, your executives going and making the case unless the retailers are behind supporting them.
Very true.
It just falls in deaf ears. So it's a great. The SGF is, I'm so proud of where we are just now and the direction that the SGF is going in. So it's been fantastic. Very, very proud of the organisation, the Pete and John and the team we have there.
Well done.
Thank you.
So yes, so we on CTALK, we've got, I think we've just reached over 1,800 people on the website that Paul here has built. So it would be great if you're on there. You're talking about retailers reaching out to other retailers. Of course, we've got so many familiar faces, but we're kind of overwhelmed by how many new faces we've got signing up to the website. So if any of them are watching this and would like to reach out to you, are you happy for them to do that?
100%. I like I said, I get retailers all the time, and I'm more than happy. The only thing I would say to them is that if they phone in advance and let me know so I can block some time off for them. If they turn up and I'm up to my eyes in work, then I can only, maybe have a few sentences of a conversation. But if they phone in advance and say, look, Abdul, this is what I'm planning to do, I would, some information about X, Y, and Z, then okay, I know they're coming. I can make sure I'm free and there's no rush to chase them out the door. But if they turn up and, we have occasions that sometimes people just think, you're doing nothing and they can just come in and take up your time. It's not fair. But I'm more than happy.
And just before we go, is there anybody that you would like to say thank you to? I'm sure there's many people that are grateful for the advice that you've given them. But is there anybody that you would like to say thank you to?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. I'm scared that if I miss somebody out, but in terms of the different sectors, the Pete and I, brothers from a different mother. It's just the relationship that we have in terms of working together for our industry under the umbrella of the Scottish Grocers Federation has been tremendous. I owe him a lot in terms of the support, especially during the early days of the transition of the SGF from where it was and where it is now. I think we've been a fantastic team. One other person that's been, crucial in my understanding of the industry, we're talking at the industry level, is Sandy Wilkie. Now, Sandy Wilkie I've known since I was at school, and he was a milkman. So I've known Sandy a long time, and I've turned to him a lot of times in terms of guiding me through the different channels of how to get the best out of for our retailers, for our community, and everything. So he's been a mentor, a really strong mentor. But there's loads. I could go on for ages, because I think one of the things I would say to retailers is that if you surround yourself with good quality people, there's no way you can fail at anything that you do in life. It's who you surround yourself with. If you make friends with the best in your sector, or best in charity, or the best in anything, then you will succeed. And not only that, you'll have a happy life. And I've been blessed with who I've come across in the different fields that I've worked in. and the people I've come across in retail are fantastic. And you know, like I say, as soon as you mentioned Paul, I've met him loads of times all over the place at different events. So I could go on, but there's so many different retailers. But I'm grateful. I'm proud of our industry, of our sector, and thank you for taking the time to chat with me.
Oh, wise words, and we are honoured to be speaking with you so soon. To winning your award. Congratulations again once more. We're out of time, but I hope we'll get the opportunity to talk to you again.
I'm sure in the future. Thank you. Thanks again.
Thank
Nice
you,
to see you, Paul.
Thanks, Abdul, and say hello to the whole family.
Thank you, Andrew. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.